we're celebrating 25 years. A couple of people here, I believe, have been in it 25 years. Have you? Scott, Blake, Carolyn, Mary. Yep, stand up. You were in it? Carl, you're not that old.
He would.
Stand up.
Mark, you were.
That's it. You know what's incredible about this? There wasn't that many people then.
No.
Most of you are still in here right now, aren't you? 6 of you are still here right now. I mean, this is incredible. That kind of speaks to something, the longevity of the mission, of the purpose. Insanity. I'm also proud that Mary Wilkerson, I believe, somebody told me this anyway, was the first lady member of this AELM. So she deserves it. Like most things religious, they were pretty male-oriented when they started. Billy Graham Crusade, and most things were. Mary, you're a pioneer. I mean, 25 years ago, you became a member. And I was so thankful to hear that you were coming to this one. Mary's in Michigan, the kind of southern Canada up there. What's this? Ann Arbor? Is that where?
Brighton now.
Brighton?
It's just a little north of Ann Arbor.
Okay. So let's see, what else do we want to say about that? 25 years. Any other? I mean, this is historical. This is really a historical time. Our certification commissioning service on our 25th anniversary. I mean, that's just incredible. So let's look at the next chart. Mark Mullen is going to talk about this. So but we're going to all commit as Mark talks.
So the last couple of years on the board, a lot of great things have happened, but one of the things that God just seems to be stirring in the board's heart, and has been, and some of you as well, is, where are we going? And then when we saw we're coming up on 25 years, I think even more so, it's almost the question of where are the next 25 years heading for the association? And as we begin to look at that, there was a lot of conversation around the table many times about, is God wanting to do something different? The message is going to always be the same. And we have a great commitment on the board to protect that message and to promote that message both. To protect it and to promote it. However, as we began to look at our history, we began to wonder, where we come from, and maybe where are we going. So after we met in Myrtle Beach last year, there was just a lot stirring in a lot of our hearts. And I went home, there was a lot stirring in my heart. So I just sat down at my computer one day and just was thinking of some of the things we had discussed. And so I put together just really a short PowerPoint, sent it to all the board members just with a few of my thoughts, and just kind of posed some questions. What if? What if? But before we got to the what if, I said, this is where we have been, and I want to see if, the board thought maybe that was accurate. So what you see up here is the history and legacy of the AELM. 1987 to 2011. This is the 25th year for that. And that tree, if you'll look below it, has roots. Everybody see the roots at the bottom there? You see the branches on the top of the tree and the leaves. So the tree represents something very significant here. All right, can you all see that?
Yeah.
And the way.
All right, if you can't see it, look if you would. As we thought about the history, and it's a rich history, it's a great history of many things that God has done. We were thinking about it even this weekend as we met. I mean, thousands, probably tens of thousands of lives have been touched through the AELM. And really in some ways all over the world. And not just in the United States, but in Europe and Africa and Australia and some other places. It's been touched, tens of thousands. And a lot of the history and legacy of the Association of Changed Life Ministries has not only been the message, but it's also been the method. The method of delivering the message. In the beginning, even with the 5 who started, it really was about counseling. And if you look back at the history of the church and what was happening, I think that was just part of his story. I think that was part of God's story. It was the right thing at the right time. It was what God was doing. And yet here we are 25 years later. History has changed. Church history has changed. And yet when you look at our roster of the membership of the AELM, it appears as though around 90% of the membership, that includes offices, small, large, and individual members, around 90% of the membership are involved in exchange life counseling. That's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. But what we began to see, it appeared though, was that the roots of the organization, the roots of the AELM, are exchange life counseling. It's not just exchange life message, but exchange life counseling. That's the roots.